So this one comes from my buddy Brandon Garland, who asks, what kind of project management systems do you use and how do you make sure that they are used regularly? And I'm kind of paraphrasing that because I'm driving. But project management is interesting because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with project management. I think we all kind of do. Either you love it or you hate it. And I kind of go back and forth. I love being able to get things done in a timely fashion, but I feel like the more time I make tasks and lists and all this stuff is time I could use to actually work on the project instead of just planning for it. But you got to do a little bit of planning, obviously. In another video in one of my vlogs, I kind of broke down the process of actually how I clear space in my head by just writing out everything that's going on at the beginning or end of the week and try to get some clarity in my mind so that I can focus on a new project. And there's another cool thing that I love to do, helps me a ton with these huge projects. So let's say you're wanting to do a big product launch, or you're wanting to start a new brand or a new big picture project. Let's just do a generic example. I want to make $500,000 on a product launch, and that's the end goal. So a goal is made up of a couple different things. A date, a specific outcome. So 500,000 is the specific amount of money you want to make in the time period of, let's say, 3-month time period. But you could start with just those details. So by September 6th of this year, I want to launch a $500,000 product. What you do once you know those specific details, you can actually write up, and I'll just open like a Google Doc or something, and I'll write, the title of it is How to Launch a Product That Generates $500,000 in Revenue in 3 Months by Sean Vossler. Then I'll just start working backwards. You start with that big picture, then you come up with a few math metrics. I need to come up with a product that, let's say I don't have a huge list, I have a list of like 10,000 people or 1,000 people, so that's really going to determine the price of your product. You may say, well, with a $100 product, I'd have to sell 5,000 units to make $500,000. 500 units is a lot, so that may be a little more difficult. So you say, okay, well, I think I could sell 100 units. So to make $500,000, you'd have to come up with a $5,000 product to sell 100 units, right? Yeah, I think that's the math. So now you know the price point of the product that you want to launch. So you're looking to launch a $5,000 product. Okay, what's a $5,000 product look like? So you could do some research then. Product may consist of consulting, a done-for-you portion. It may consist of info training. It may consist of all kinds of different things. So you need to research. So that tells you what your next step is. So I need to sell 100 units at $5,000. But I can't be managing 500 people, so maybe it's part info product, part done for you. Then you just keep working backwards. Maybe you say, well, I don't think I could deliver a $5,000 product to 100 people. Maybe I should do a $2,000 product. Break out our fancy calculator here. If we want to do 500,000 in sales with a $2,000 product, we need to sell 250 units. So 250 at 2,000, you just start breaking down the math. So if 250, maybe I need to get a list of 10,000 people. What's the percentage I need to sell to get 250? So 250 divided by 10,000, I would need to sell 2.5% of the 10,000 person list at a $2,000 price point. All right, so all this math, this is literally, you're going down the document, and maybe I'll just cut to in the side here, maybe I'll do a screen flow of breaking this down as I'm talking. As you're doing the math, it's giving you your tasks, coming up with the product at that price point. How am I going to sell 250 of them? Is it through JVs? Is it through Facebook ads? What do I need to do then? Now I know I need that $2,000 product. I know kind of the basic structure, so I need to plan out how I'm going to develop it in the time that I have to develop it. How am I going to get affiliates? So all of this starts building out this big work document, so the project document. And once you have that project document, you could literally just sit there for like an hour and write up all the things that come to mind, do a little research, pull in items. By the end of it, maybe you have a like 5-10 page document that's the exact roadmap. Now at this point, you have a pretty good idea of what you need to do to reach that big goal. At that point, I like to go to people that I respect, mentors or just cool people that are in the industry, and ask them, okay, here's my plan, shoot some bullet holes in it. and they say, oh, well, that at that price point, selling that many, you may actually need a list that's double that, or they'll give you guidance. You'll be able to get feedback based on the actual plan that you've put out. And then after you've taken some time to get it all worked out, then it goes into execution mode. So you can start outsourcing some things that you need developed. You can budget for it. Maybe it will take you more time than you thought it would. So maybe you give yourself a year, way too long, but let's just say you did. Then you could break it down month to month. What do I need to do? So at this point, you break out a calendar and you say, this week I need to do this week I need to do this. And as you break it down, you have to allot for the time you actually have. So maybe you only have an hour a day that you could put into a project like this. That hour you need to allocate to certain tasks, so you're not just sitting there wasting time. So that's how I like to take big conceptual ideas, put them into this document and break it all down. And that really helps me to manage my time because it helps me keep my top priority. Now there is one big other piece of that puzzle that we'll go into in the next video, because personally, you could have the best plan in the world, but if you don't have the right compass, I'm gonna shoot that one more time. So there's one more big step that we're gonna break down in another video, the next video. So make sure you subscribe if you like this topic, if you think it's interesting, because there's one key aspect of executing that plan that isn't involved in all the tasks and project management, and it involves something called a compass. So if you've got the map, which is this plan, you need the compass. So next video, we're gonna break down what that compass is and how you can develop it, and subscribe. Make sure you're around for the next video. I love you.